Hey everybody, welcome to the Harmonious Path with Jen. Can you believe November's almost over? I mean, I'm recording this on Saturday and it's the 21st. I had to look at my calendar to remind myself of the date. And Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving here in the United States. That means it's almost December, which means it's almost the next year. And that in turn means that it's the time when people start thinking about what goals they're going to set for the next year. What are your, I hate the term New Year's resolutions because that just has such a connotation of you're going to set your New Year's resolution and then, a month later you're going to just forget about it. And I don't and I don't feel like why should you wait until January 1st to start working on a new goal? Why not just start whenever you want to? But because it is that time of year when a lot of people do think about this, including myself, I wanted to talk more about setting goals in a way that you can have good goals that resonate with you, that you can actually achieve. So this is going to be the first in a 3-part series about goal setting and starting with the right foot forward so that you'll be infinitely more likely to actually achieve your goals. So next week we're going to talk about making time to work on your goals, creating a schedule, and I'm going to share my physical planner and how I use it. I'm kind of excited about that because I'm kind of a planner geek, and I know a lot of people on YouTube do love planning, so I'm really excited about that. And then the week after that, we're going to talk about the importance of a personal mission statement and how to create one for yourself. But first, let's talk about just setting your goals and breaking them down into manageable bite-sized chunks. And we'll also talk about some visualization techniques to help you bring those goals to life. So the first step is to dream big. This is where you're going to create what is called a mind map. And I want you to start with a clean slate for this exercise. Don't think about the goals that you've had in the past. Don't think about things you've wanted to learn. Just really start from scratch. Keep an open mind and just dream as big as you want to dream. So get yourself in the mood, brew a cup of coffee or tea or maybe even a glass of wine or whatever your drink of choice is. Put on some music that's going to get you in the mindset and just really inspire you of dreaming about your ideal life. Maybe meditate for a few minutes to clear your mind. Just really get yourself in the mindset. And then what you're going to do is break it down into categories of time frames. So you can do whatever is going to work for you, but the way I do this is I break it down into goals that I want to achieve in the next 3 months, the next 1 year, the next 5 years, and lifetime. So, like I said, do whatever works for you, but write down everything you can think of. It doesn't matter how big or how unrealistic it might seem, just let your imagination run wild. Do you want to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, but you don't have a college degree? Write it down. There are ways to do it. If it's something that you truly want, you will find a way to make it happen. And don't worry about that at this point. Just write down everything. Dream big. The next step is to narrow down your goals. So review your list and circle the one item in each time frame that is going to be most impactful on your life right now. So we're going to start with your 3-month goal or whatever your shortest time frame is, and then you can go ahead and do this with the other time frames as well. So now we're going to work on making your goal a SMART goal. You may have heard this term before, or you may not. There are hundreds of articles on the interwebs about it. So if you want to read more, you can just Google SMART goals and you will find a wealth of information. But in a nutshell, for our purposes, SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, which I also like to call realistic, relevant, and time bound. So I'll give you an example. So specific is fairly self-explanatory. I want to lose weight. Measurable is how will you know when you've reached this goal? So I want to lose weight is really vague, but I want to lose 30 pounds gives you a number, a goalpost for where you have, where you are and when you have met this goal. Achievable or realistic. So can you lose 50 pounds in 3 months? I mean, maybe, but it's not going to be healthy. So be ruthlessly realistic about what is realistic for you. Now, maybe, 20 pounds in 3 months might be more realistic or achievable. Is the goal relevant? So this is a really big topic to go into too much detail right now, and this is actually going to be the topic of the workshop that I'll be offering on December 14th, Improving the What by Managing the Why. But in a nutshell, is it relevant means, is it worthwhile? Why are you setting this goal? Is the reason because you truly want to reach this goal, or is it just something that everybody's doing, so why not? I used to have a goal of running a 5K because it really just seemed like everybody was doing it and there was a themed race for every cause possible. I didn't really want to do it though. So that's kind of what relevant is. And then the final T is time bound, and that is giving yourself an end date. I want to lose 20 pounds, period. Well, by when? Are you ever going to reach it? If you don't have an end date, you're probably just going to keep putting it off and putting it off. But if you say, I want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months, that gives you an end date. So am I on track for meeting this goal? Do I need to work a little harder? Or even do I need to reevaluate and adjust the goal? Now, some goals might be a little more esoteric, a little harder to wrap around this SMART goal framework. So I'm going to share one of my personal goals to give an example of how you can modify this. So specific, I want to heal my inner child wounds. Measurable, this is obviously a little bit harder because there's not a number that I can put around this. But I do have a pretty good idea of how I will feel when I have done this and how my life will improve. I know some ways that this is holding me back in ways, so I do have a fairly good idea of how I will feel and what will life look like when I've achieved this goal. Achievable, is it realistic? Yes, this is achievable. Obviously, I'm going to have to work towards it and be sure that I'm putting in the work and, doing all this inner work and journaling and exercises that I need to do. But that's any goal. You have to put in the work. So yes, this is achievable. Is it relevant? Absolutely. Time bound. Well, this one's a little harder to put a date around. When you're doing inner child work, shadow work, any of this kind of deep inner work, you can't force it, you can't hurry it. Sometimes things are going to just come like a flash of lightning and you're going to figure it out and know what action steps you need to take to move forward. And it's going to be fairly easy to get through. Other times it's going to be like trudging through quicksand, and it's just going to be a very slow process, and there's really no way to predict that. So really, to help with this, what I'm going to do is just schedule time into my planner every week, a couple times a week, so that I know I'm working on this and I know that I'm taking steps to reach this goal. I also want to warn you against setting too many goals. This is a fast track to overwhelm. If you have, half a dozen, I feel like can be too many, but it's going to be different for everybody. But if you have too many goals, you're going to get overwhelmed and there's going to be too many moving pieces, and you're probably just going to throw in the towel and give up on everything. So for me, what is realistic is to have 2 personal goals that I'm working on and then 2 professional or business related goals. In a perfect world, really one of each would be good, but there's just so much that I want to do and so much that I want to learn, and I need to push myself a little bit. So figure out what's reasonable for you and don't overwhelm yourself. So the next step is breaking it down into manageable chunks. So this is where you want to break your goals down into the smallest pieces that you can. So again, I'm going to share a personal example to really give a concrete example on how you would do this. So I have a goal of getting more fruits and vegetables into my life. Now I know the recommended daily amount is 5 fruits and vegetables. Well, I currently, or up until recently, very rarely ate any. I know I don't have the best diet, and I'm working on that. But going overnight from almost none to 5 a day just seems like a lot for me. Some people might be able to do that. Say, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and boom, they're doing it. But for me, that's a little overwhelming because I hate food prep. I hate cooking, and I know that I need to be realistic so that I can actually do this. So what I'm doing is starting with 1 fruit and 1 veggie a day. And to make that even simpler, I'm allowing, for now, for a short period of maybe a couple of weeks, I'm allowing my veggie to be a glass of V8 juice every morning. Now I know that fresh home cooked vegetables are a lot healthier. You get a lot more benefit out of them, even from canned vegetables, but it's taking those baby steps to make sure that you can actually get to where you want to get. So I'm starting with V8. That's easy. I pour it into a glass and I drink it. And then I will start incorporating more canned veggies and, raw veggies like just carrots and maybe some hummus, or carrots and a little bit of ranch dip. Not too much, because I know that's not good and I don't want to add extra junk into my diet, but little things to help me do this. And then eventually I'll start cooking maybe once a week, steam some veggies or saute or whatever. So it's just breaking it down as small as you can. Another example might be with losing weight. What are the steps that you need to do? What foods are you going to eat? Maybe this would be like, I'm going to, again, eat those 5 fruits and veggies every day. I'm only going to eat red meat once a week. I'm going to walk 2 miles a day. And then break those down. What fruits and veggies are you going to eat? How are you going to prepare them? Where are you going to walk? When are you going to walk? How are you going to cook your red meat the one night you have it? How are you going to track your water intake? Just break it down as small as you can, and that's going to make it seem a whole lot more manageable. And it's also really, really important to be patient. For me, it's probably going to take a couple of months before I'm fully at my goal of eating 5 fresh fruits and veggies every day. And that seems like kind of a long time for something small, but I understand that that's realistic for me, and I just have to be patient. So finally, we're going to talk about visualization. Now, I know manifestation is a pretty big buzzword right now, and it might be really tempting to just dismiss it as some woo-woo nonsense, but there really is something powerful about visualizing your dreams, visualizing your ideal life. When you visualize the life you desire, when you've already met the goals that you're working towards, you've achieved these things, you have what you want. When you visualize that as if it is the present, it puts you in the mindset. It gets you in that frame of, this is my life. And this is what I need to do to make sure that it really does become a reality. Act as if. In the corporate world, we like to say, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. And yes, this does lead to lots of jokes about showing up to work dressed as Darth Vader or a ninja or fill in the blank. But you get my drift. Everything is made of atoms, and when you break it down, atoms are really nothing more than energy. So much like magnets, your energy can attract or repel according to its vibration. So when you act as if you are already living the life of your dreams, you're raising your vibration and you're more likely to attract the things that are going to help you to reach those goals. Now, there are many ways to visualize. The first is you can just meditate and picture in your mind your ideal life and be as specific and as detailed as you can for all of these techniques. So just, get comfortable, close your eyes, and just think about, where are you? Where are you living? What are the sights around you? What do you see? What do you hear? Are you in nature and you hear lots of birds and animals? Are you in the city and you hear the buzz of traffic beneath your window? Do you smell hot dogs from the hot dog vendor wafting up? Or do you smell pine trees? Be as absolutely specific. What is your daily routine? What do you do first thing in the morning? Be very detailed. Another way is to write this down. Just I really recommend using old-fashioned pen and paper because just that act of handwriting is really powerful and it just adds a little bit of extra oomph to what you're doing. But if you really dislike handwriting or if you have a physical limitation that prevents you from handwriting, you can absolutely type this up as well. Again, with all of these, make it work for you. These are just some ideas to give you a jumping off point. Modify any of it to make it work for you. Everybody's different. A third way of visualization is to create a vision board. You can be as simple or as creative and elaborate as you want. Now, I love crafting, so when I make a vision board, I get really fancy. I like using fancy papers and stickers and lots of pictures and little embellishments to just really make it pop and really make it pleasant for me to look at. But you don't have to do that. You can just print out a couple of pictures of things that you want in your life and make a simple collage. You can paste it into the front of your planner so that you see it every day. You can hang it on your wall. Whatever is going to be something that works for you. You don't have to spend a ton of time on it. The point is to just have images that make you feel how you will feel when you have reached your goals. You can also do this digitally. If you have roommates who don't respect your privacy, or you have a lack of space, or you just prefer a digital life, you can create a Pinterest board, or you can just create a folder on your computer and save files to it. You can also make, if you make a physical vision board, you can take a picture of it and use that as the desktop background on your computer or your phone. Just be sure that it's something that you're going to look at almost every day so that you really remind yourself of what are you working towards and how do you want to feel. So that is it for this particular video. And just a reminder that on December 14th at 7 p.m. Central Time, that's 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and Google can tell you anything else if you're outside of the United States, because this is open to everybody in whatever country you live. I will be doing the workshop Improving the What by Managing the Why. And we're going to talk about why you have the goals that you have and why you do the things you do. So leave a comment below. Let me know, how do you set your goals? Do you have any other tips that might be helpful? Anything you do differently? And just let me know your thoughts on this. Also, I got a fancy new microphone, so if you have feedback on how it sounds, let me know. Leave a comment below. So until next time, be kind to yourself and those around you, and let your light shine for all the world to see. Bye.